let me try to put some things into perspective. So as Deborah said, 16 years ago, ASU and GSV came together with Deborah and Mike, and we began this process of trying to find a way to take a medium-sized regional public research university in Arizona, a new state where you can bring new ideas, make things happen, evolve in new ways, not get hung up by government controls and so forth and so on, and allow people to be created in Tucson, like the Chargé. And so we began this process where what our goal was through the ASU+GSV EdTech Summit that occurs in the US in San Diego every spring was, could we find a way to find new technologies? Could we find a way to find new technologies that could break the model, change the model, drive things forward? 16 years later, hundreds of technologies later, we've created a university which just this year, as I'll point out in this talk, just broke $1 billion of research expenditures, the 4th university in the history of our species to do that without a medical school. MIT, Georgia Tech, UC Berkeley, and ASU. I mean, it's really a significant achievement. While also graduating 40,000 people a year, while building the largest engineering school in the United States with 33,000 students, 25,000 on campus, 8,000 online, and graduating 7,500 engineers and technologists this year, while doing that with a student body that is completely representative of all of the socioeconomic diversity of the United States. Now, to do that together, that's what Chris was talking about, access, excellence, and impact all in the same institution cannot be done without 4 or 5 things happening. You must change the culture of the university to make it a less self-centered, less egotistical, less know-it-all place where people hang out and wonder why everyone else is stupid. And so you got to reduce that. It doesn't work that well. So you got to change culture, and I'm going to show you how we did that. You've got to change the notion of being against innovation relative to teaching and learning, which we had to work on. You've got to find a way to alter the acceptance of technology. Are there tools in this sector, higher education, that can help us to be more effective, more efficient, and more efficacious if you take all of those? Do we have a deeper impact at a lower cost with a fantastic product that's being produced? And the answer is, we have figured out how to do that, and this ASU+GSV Summit has helped us to find these partners, find these tools, make these things happen. And then lastly, can you actually decide that you're going to take responsibility for something? So if the country is off course because we have kids graduating from high school who don't have a 21st century high school understanding of how the world should work, so you have kids graduating from high school that can't pass a math entrance exam to a university, but they're a high school graduate with an A in calculus from high school, you've got a problem. And who's responsible? We're responsible. We, the universities, are responsible. We trained all the teachers, we trained all the principals, we trained all the systems, we built all the tools, so we're responsible. So what I'm going to do in the next few minutes is I'm going to walk you through Arizona State University, a little bit of how we have worked at this, how we've been impacted by these technologies, how we've been impacted by changing our culture. We have 6,000 faculty members and 35,000 staff that support these faculty members. So we're a medium-sized entity compared to what some of you guys are running. We're a medium-sized entity that's been going through a whole new way of advancing the idea of a democratically based, American-centric American university. Now, I'd ask you this. If you were designing from whole cloth an American university, what would be its features? What are the American features? It would be egalitarian. Many of our universities are not. It would be egalitarian. It would be innovative. It would be adaptive. It would be scalable. It would be connected to the people. It would be practical. It would work on issues. It would work on problems. It would try to solve problems. So in the 23 years that I've been at ASU as president, after 12 years at Columbia as the deputy provost, the team at ASU has worked vigorously to design this institution and deploy this institution. And these technologies from these meetings with GSV are absolutely essential to our success. And with Emeritus here, with Ashwin, I don't know where Ashwin's sitting, I thought I saw him here earlier, are signed in also with the same thing about innovation. So let's just walk through this. So this is our charter. You might think that every university has a charter. They don't. Most public universities have a generic, instead of instructions, teach. That's their instruction, teach. Serve the state. This is our charter, 3 component parts. We will measure ourselves not by who we exclude, but who we include and how they succeed. And that has nothing to do with all this DEI stuff going on in the United States, nothing to do with all these discussions. We will admit every qualified student and work towards their success, period, no matter how many there are. We will adjust to that. We will maintain admission standards that are focused on what it takes to actually get through the university, not admission standards that can be risen and risen and risen and risen and risen, so the few kids that can get in make their families feel better about where their kid went to college. Think about all of you, all of us who have a hard time understanding that lots of people have talent, everyone has the ability to learn. We have a model of what we call the abundance of learning. The middle part of our charter is research that has impact for the people. And the last part of our charter is taking responsibility, like I mentioned before, for the outcomes of the communities that we serve. We have a bunch of design aspirations. The most important point are not all the details. We'll get this PowerPoint to everyone. But it's that we do not have a standard set of academic objectives as our design aspirations. The one upper right, fuse intellectual disciplines. We've eliminated 80 departments, colleges, and schools and built new schools, new programs, 40 times. The School for Earth and Space Exploration, the School for Human Evolution and Social Change, the School for the Future of the Oceans, the School of Sustainability. And this is not pop anything. Those schools now have between 5 and 20 as many majors as they used to have, and are doing between 10 and 20 times the level of research that they used to do with about the same size faculty. New designs, new aspirations, new structures, new ways of doing things. Just to give you some sense of the scale, while everybody thinks no one wants to go to college, that's false. Our Center for the Future of Arizona, which spends its time focusing on assessing the shared public values of Arizonans, more than 80% of the people in Arizona want a pathway to college for their kid. They just want to be able to afford it. They want their kid to be able to graduate. They want the degree to have merit and value when the person tries to get a job. That's what they want, and so they're frustrated. We admitted 41,000 new students last year, 17,000 of which were first-year students on campus with us, freshmen. 17,000 freshmen. Believe it or not, I meet with all 17,000 freshmen at one time in the most unbelievable series of events that you can possibly imagine. We have students at ASU on campus from over 150 countries, all 50 states, most of the counties of the United States. This is the kind of crowd that we have that makes up the institution. And so this notion that college is fading, college isn't succeeding, colleges that aren't innovating are fading. Colleges that are not built on selectivity are having difficulty because selectivity is the coin of the realm. We've built something different. Just trust me when I tell you that we have outstanding academic programs across our 20 colleges, our 800 majors, our 250 departments, because unless you're delivering quality programs, you're not delivering anything. Our graduates are highly successful, highly employable. Let me just add, we think that we've found or used more than 300 technologies from our ASU+GSV meetings over the last 15 or 16 years, and these technologies have allowed us to go from 8,000 graduates a year to 40,000 graduates a year, where our 8,000 graduates were mostly traditional middle-class white students, to now a student body that's representative of every class and every group, and then increase our research activity from $100 million a year to $1 billion a year. We couldn't have done any of this without these technologies being embedded in our continuous innovation environment. We've got lots of great faculty. The one point I'm trying to give you, for those of you that went to elite schools, for those of you that believe that elite schools are the only places in the world where any of these kinds of people hang out, that's just a falsehood. Just a falsehood. We have Nobel laureates, we have Pulitzer Prize winners, we have MacArthur Fellows on our faculty, we have all these people going on within the institution. So here's some of the things that we've been able to do. Number one in innovation in the US for 10 years in a row. They've been ranking it for 10 years. We won it for 10 years. Now I have a joke about that. Yeah. The joke is the bar is very low, so it doesn't take a lot to win. I said, well, whatever, we won. And so we're also #1 in the US and top 10 in the world for global impact. That's related to the Sustainability Development Goals of the UN. #5, now #4 in total research expenditures among institutions without a medical school, and we were just elected to the elite group of performing research universities in the US, the American Association of Universities. Now, the reason I'm saying this to you, none of this is bragging. What this is you're not supposed to be able to do this. You're not supposed to be able to have 17,000 freshmen, 41,000 new students, 185,000 degree-seeking students, half on campus, half online, 500,000 people taking our courses that are not in our degree programs, and be elected to the Association of American Universities with Harvard, Columbia, Princeton, Berkeley, Michigan, and all the other great research universities. It's supposed to be impossible. It's not impossible because of innovation, because of learning and educational technologies, and because of doing things in new kinds of ways. We've got great faculty, unbelievable faculty, Ann Jones, Kenro Kasumi. The point of this slide is we have a faculty equal to the faculty anywhere, working with 185,000 degree-seeking students, using advanced technologies as the interfaces between them and these students with personalized education, dramatic new ways of teaching and learning. All these things are happening. A lot of international students. If you look on the left, that's the rank order of the number of international students attending American universities. New York City, Boston, New York City, and then Tempe. So 18,000 international students, #1 among all public universities. Again, how we reach them, how we reach across cultures. Just on the side, we have 2,000 artificial intelligence projects underway right now just in our instructional environment. We have deals with 30 large language model purveyors in the artificial intelligence world. We have an open source AI deal, which is a comprehensive unlimited computation model. We've got all these things going on, meaning that we're now interacting in multiple languages, teaching degrees in multiple languages, providing health services in multiple languages, mental health services in multiple languages, working across cultures, working across all kinds of things, having a student body of this kinds of complexity. And then our relationship with Santana and the alliance that we've started with them, and some of their leadership is here today. 300,000 students enrolled at 27 ASU Santana universities, all of which are technologically empowered through what we call Powered by ASU, a library of assets, a library of courses, a library of learning tools, learning assets, all these things that are coming together. This is expanding. So what I'm trying to give you is a sense of the purpose of this meeting. We can continue to beat our heads against the wall hoping that somehow we're going to do better in education or lower the cost of education or educate more people or bring more people into jobs that are meaningful and have dignity. But unless we figure out how to do some of these things, we're not going to be able to do that. Almost 7,000 students from India, coming from all over India, attending ASU physically. Largest number of Indian students attending an American university. In fact, the Indian students, I don't know how many of you are from India. How many are from India? Okay, well, they're taking over ASU. They're being elected to the government of student body president, elected to the student body senate, taking over all the jobs. Soon the university will probably be an Indian university. And so not just from numbers of students, but from who's running the thing. So we're very excited about that. We have, these are the colleges enrolling the students from India. Thunderbird on the bottom, we acquired Thunderbird a few years ago, 10 years ago. Brought it back, built a new world headquarters for Thunderbird in downtown Phoenix. I don't know if Charla is here, the dean of Thunderbird, or not. There she is, waving her hands back there. So the engineering school, upper left, 33,000 students, largest engineering school in the country. Carey School of Business, philanthropically supported by the late Bill Carey, largest business school in the US. College of Liberal Arts and Sciences has more than 30,000 students. Herberger Institute for Design and the Arts, the largest art and design school in the country, about 10,000 students with the headquarters also in Los Angeles. #2 among public universities in the US in graduate employability. Everybody gets a job. 97% have jobs within 1 year, or they're in graduate school within 1 year. 97%. Now, I just ask you, all the pictures, by the way, are us. They're our students, our faculty, our staff. So we don't have models or anything. This is a graduation in our football stadium, probably in May of 2024. So the reason I say all this to you is that we have an unbelievably complicated environment in which we're graduating 40,000 people from every family background imaginable with world-class degrees in which the value of their degrees is equal to, in the marketplace, as measured by their employment salaries, any other university in the United States. Stanford, UCLA, UC Berkeley, Texas, Washington, Purdue, Penn State, Boston University, any of them. The student body is unbelievably financially diverse. We have 20,000 students who come from families with no income outside of government support. We spend, we're not a profit-seeking entity, hundreds of millions of dollars a year of our net positive margin. I'm probably the only public university president in the United States that knows what a net positive margin is. And one of you are going to see this and send me a note. And so our net positive margin enables us to then have no financial barrier. If you're admitted, you're admitted. If you don't have money for food, we cover that. A place to live, we cover that. So we have found a way to build the university using these technologies through our efficiencies. These efficiencies are unbelievably powerful for us. India, China, Mexico, Canada, and Taiwan are our big sources of international students. Some of our student highlights, these are some of the students that are here making things happen. These happen to be students from India. What happens is they're all working on projects, they're all engaged in everything, they're super engaged, super employed. Thousands of the students from India are employed on campus in jobs that pay between $15 and $40 an hour US. And these are very powerful opportunities. Then they have OPT opportunities. Now you can imagine with the diversity of students that we're looking at, how do we manage all of this? So we have mental health chatbots that speak to you in Hindi, speak to you in Mandarin, speak to you in languages that are your first language versus English, which in many cases is a second language. And so why do we have all these things? We have all these things so that we can create a powerful global institution that can be successful. This is the research story, up from 100 million a year to breaking $1 billion a year. Now, I can't begin to tell you how difficult this is. This is unbelievably difficult, but our faculty are able to do this because of the technologies that we've been absorbing, enabling them to become infinitely more efficient and effective. So we have tens of thousands of projects, individual projects, involving 40,000 people across the entire spectrum of activities in the US. If you see a logo up here and you're familiar with it, we beat them. Even that blue one on the bottom right, Charge. A Boulder graduate. No, I'm sorry to hear that. So, because we're in the conference with Boulder now in the Big 12, as you know. So what this says is this is how we perform against other, what you think of as historic name brand universities. So if there's a logo here, we beat them. And this data is trailing data from 2023. For us, I mean, I just want to point this one out. And again, I'm not bragging. What I'm saying is that without these technologies, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of advanced learning technologies, AI technologies, advanced educational technologies, all the things that we've got in place, this one here, National Science Foundation funded expenditures, 621 universities or colleges in the United States got money from the most elite funding agency in the world, the National Science Foundation, which at the moment is directed by Sethuraman Panchanathan, local boy from Chennai, who is on our faculty and on leave from our faculty running that agency. And no, he didn't help us to move up this list. But we beat Chicago, UCLA, Harvard, Penn, Georgia Tech, and the University of Arizona, our sister institution to the south, in grants and expenditures from the National Science Foundation. What that tells you is that how does a university which is still admitting B students from high school, we're admitting students who earned their way into the university by taking elaborate robot-enhanced courses that help them to prove their intellectual capability to go to the university. How does that same university beat these universities in National Science Foundation competitive grant award expenditures? Changed culture, continuous innovation, the acceptance of technology, the building of a new kind of university. This is our online graduates, over 100,000 now. These are all the technologies, not all of them, but all the technologies that we've assumed. These are things we've gotten from this meeting, relationships that we've had. We're going to send this to you. We'll send this PowerPoint to everybody so you can see this. So we have assessment technologies, interaction technologies, student management technologies, content technologies. We've got collaboration, companies that we've helped start, companies that we are founders, companies that we're partnering with. We have thousands of drivers from Uber that are our students. We have tens of thousands of learners from Starbucks that are our students. And at the same time, we work with the Santa Fe Institute, which is one of the biggest bunch of unbelievable eggheads in Santa Fe that you can imagine, thinking about complexity theory and the origins of the universe and so forth and so on. So we work with all these different kinds of groups. We have this partnership, a company that we co-founded called Dreamscape Learn, which is a whole new way of learning biology, a whole new way of learning biology in a way. We've had 35,000 students take a virtual reality way of learning biology, a 40% average improvement in learning. This is an unbelievable technology, So now biology is done. We're moving on to chemistry. We're building astronomy. We're building planetary sciences. We're building art history, unbelievable technologies. This is how that really, the largest engineering school in the United States works. We blew up all of the core departments, built Grand Challenge. This goes to the notion again of innovation. You can't do any of this without technology. New ways to teach calculus, new ways to teach advanced math, new ways to teach chemistry, new ways to teach biology. We have 19 graduate online programs, 3 online certificate programs, 16 undergraduate online degree programs, including the world's only approved by ABET online undergraduate degrees in electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and software engineering, all from these technologies. Here's the kinds of students from India that we have in these degree programs from around the university. Online biochemistry and chemistry programs. Who says online? So how many of you could imagine that there could be, can't see you all, an online biochemistry program? Well, we have one. And we just had our students graduating from that program admitted to the most elite medical schools in the United States. Because this program is not people talking behind a green screen. We might have 50 technologies in our biochemistry teaching program that enhance the way students learn, the way they learn in 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions, the way they learn science, the way that they advance. So these students are also snarky. So some medical school deans for a while were saying we're not admitting anyone from the online university and because they don't work in teams. So they do work in teams. They work in teams that are unbelievable. They work in ways that are unbelievable, using technology. So again, all these technologies have been very powerful for us. We look at learning across the entire life now, 0 to 80. We have 60,000 learners in K-12 programs. We've got all kinds of things. Again, we probably have 100 new technologies just to manage the age variety of our learners, how to interact with them, how to communicate with them, how to produce materials for them, and so forth. So I'm going to stop there with just 2 minutes left. I don't know if we have time for any questions or not, but my most important message to all of you is, and the reason I'm standing here today is these technologies that we use, we've invented some, we've developed some, we've partnered with some, we've bought some. I don't think we've stolen any to get in trouble for that, but we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these relationships. We're looking for more relationships. We're looking for more partnerships. And I want to leave you with one thought. We're doing a really poor job building universities like ASU because generally in the US and India, we've decided that there's the great universities that admit the fewest number of people given the number of people that apply, and there's everybody else. But so long as we think that, we're going to have massive problems, massive social problems. We could even have massive political complexity. We could even have people upset about all kinds of things in our broader societies. And so I'm very thankful to GSV, very thankful to Emeritus for helping this meeting to be launched here. Very happy to be here, and we're on the hunt. So if the ASU people that are here could raise their hand, those of you that are from ASU, there's a few of us that are here. If you guys have technologies you're looking to give away, we'll take them. If you got technologies you want to sell, we'll talk to you. If you got partners, if you're looking for a partner, so we have dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of equity positions in ed tech and learning tech technologies where the company is looking for a place to use the technology to prove its concept. Well, we're that place. 185,000 degree-seeking students, 500,000 registered course takers, 25 million learners that are visiting our institutions' websites and learning from us. from all over the world, virtually every country on the planet, in multiple languages. We have degrees in multiple languages. We do. We have degrees in China, in Mandarin. We have other things that we've got working on. So if you can imagine the problem, we have a way to really work on it. So fantastic meeting. Appreciate GSV putting this meeting together. Deborah, do we have time for any questions or just go? I'm done. She tells me I'm done. So, all right. So thank you.